got worse for Sneako.
You know, I was looking for something interesting to watch this weekend, and I remembered Aiden Ross' brand risk boxing event. Although I don't condone some of the nonsensory that goes on, I do sometimes like to see people get beat up. But as I was looking to the crowd, there was a face that I could not see. All of Aiden Ross's besties were in the audience except for one guy. When I went to Twitter to find out what happened, I couldn't help but smile.
And then be so ignorant to what, hey, well, brand risk is tomorrow. I can't go, dip. You stupid idiot. I was not allowed in the last brand risk. Brand risk tomorrow, are you going? Oh my God, bro. This is it, and it's fine. I'm not upset about it.
Wait a minute.
Looks like you're upset. What's going on, Sneako? What's going on?
Wait a minute. You're telling me Sneako got banned?
Again!
And this time from a brand risk event. This is an event that's known to be edgy and be risky.
It's called brand risk.
This is what now, 5 bans from 5 different entities and institutions. And it's all because of Sneako's dumbass background. This is amazing, and we've got to talk about it. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long way for the channel. For those of y'all that just keep
sub up, let's go!
Back into the video. For those people that are unfamiliar, brand risk isn't some sort of mainstreamed event. It's not Twitch, who has a lot of corporate sponsors. It's not the UFC, who has a big mainstream backing, and it's certainly not the continent of Australia.
Reggie, you're not upset that your girl Princess Love would let Mayweather have 10 girlfriends, but be mad when you try to somebody else? I don't think that's fair.
Hey,
you gotta stand up for yourself. You gotta security.
It's raunchy, it's wild, it's edgy. It is right up Sneako's free speech alley. And plus, because of the last confrontation they had, I would believe that Aiden Ross and Sneako would be friends.
Guys, listen, I speak to Sneako every single day, and I said it how it is, bro. Look, you can say what you want about me, bro. Sneako's one of my bestest friends, bro. He had my back when nobody else did. He's a real friend of mine, and just because I'm back and where I'm doing, I will still platform my brother Sneako. That's my bro. Okay, he's doing really well too. He's leaving that side of the community. He's trying to become better, and Sneako, I'm never gonna switch up on him.
That's the problem with Sneako though. It's like we see Sneako wanting to come back to the green side, bro. We see him. That's why he be grifting so hard. But it's like there's something in him that just can't let go of being fake. It's like he always gotta slime somebody out. He always gotta talk shit. He always has to. I think what it is with Sneako, bro. If I'm not really think about it, I feel like Sneako. He's just on some like, okay, whoever's popular, that's who I'm rocking with. So, but the problem is when he did that with Andrew Tate at the time, Andrew Tate was just so toxic and so negative that it brought Sneako's PR down to the pits of hell. And then he tried to grift and get out of it. Like, oh no, I'm not on that toxic masculinity shit no more. I'm off that red pill shit. But he was just so absorbed by it. He couldn't shake the stain off. You're not Kanye, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. He attached himself to Kanye West when Kanye was crashing out and saying a bunch of crazy shit. And Kanye, you know, again, he's doing what he's doing. He's given us multiple big songs for a long time now. Love or hate Kanye, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's so solidified that he can kind of shake off even some of the crazy shit he said before. But Sneako continues to get the bad publicity. It continues to stick to him like goo. It's like venom, you know. But imagine trying to rip the goo off your body like Spider-Man, but you can't because you're not strong enough. It consumes you. And then it's going over your face, and then you start, you're venom, you're evil. You can't shake it off, nigga. You're not Spider-Man, bro. That's what's going on with Sneako, bro. He's grifted too much. He can't get out. He's trapped. He's in the sunken place. Save me,
bro. Like I'm sorry, guys. That's just somebody that is my best friend, and I will never, ever stop him. Sorry, guys.
That's why I was shocked when Sneako said that he couldn't go to an event that he was banned from, and the event was brand risk. This is supposed to be a place in a space where Sneako thrives, but he can't even get into anymore. And I think that that's opening up the eyes of Sneako and any of the supporters that thought that, like, yo, you know, as long as I got my boys, as long as I got this crowd of people with me, you know, I'll be good. But that's no longer the case. Even these types of people are understanding the risk in the brand.
Because he's too fake, bro. How you gonna get banned from brand risk? That don't even make sense.
That Sneako is. When your own lane starts to treat you like a liability, that's a different level of rejection. When Twitch bans Sneako, he can blame the platform, but when Brand Risk bans Sneako, now he has to ask why his own world is closing the door to him. And it makes it even worse because Brand Risk has already shown that they are willing to let Sneako-esque type people in. Look at this flyer. Look at the names that are on this.
Yeah, mind you, this nigga Aiden Ross, he's endorsing fucking, who was that? There was some racist guy that Aiden Ross was endorsing, allowing him to get on Brand Risk and fight. So, you know, the bar is low. The bar is pretty low. For Sneako to get banned from Brand Risk, it really just shows, bro, they don't fuck with you, gang.
Flyer. These are literally people in which if I inserted Sneako right next to them, he wouldn't look like that one meme of the clown standing in the group of the army people. He would literally blend in. They literally bring some of the most divisive people onto the platform. Hell, I even saw Gypsy Crusader at one of the Brand Risk events back in March.
And the winner
This is what I was talking about.
split decision.
Super.
Out of the red corner, Gypsy Crusader.
He's done.
So it definitely can't be anything about anti-Semitism. I've seen Brand Risk have Charleston White in the Island Boys.
I'm gonna kick this bitch ass. You hear me? I'm gonna kick that bitch ass. Yeah, you let me walk on you like that. You ain't ready to fight, nigga. You ain't ready to fight. You let a man walk.
You know, Charleston White actually beat his ass too. That shit was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Go up on you and do you like that. See you in the ring tomorrow, bitch. I don't want to talk no more.
So it definitely can't be anything about racism or doing nasty things with your family, because stuff that's on the Island Boys is actually kind of wild. We should probably
Fuck. Why do you remind me about that? I didn't want to hear that.
do a video on it. Those boys are disgusting. And it doesn't even have anything to do with being a bad parent, because an invitation was extended to Wendy Ortiz. Now, she would ultimately turn it down, but still, Wendy Ortiz was invited to the event.
No, guys, I'm not going to Brand Risk. Sorry. I'm not going to Brand Risk. It's Aiden Ross. I'm sorry. The only thing that was convincing me to go was that Drake was going to be there. But I was double thinking. I was like, am I really going to, like, it's like my morals or meeting Drake. And I'm going to meet Drake. I'm just kidding. No, I just didn't want to go because Aiden Ross is talking shit about.
Sean Strickland, Neon, Aiden Ross's self, academics. The brand of Brand Risk isn't afraid of controversy, and that's not why Sneako didn't get invited to the event. They've had people who I would probably objectively say are more controversial than Sneako at the appearance. But even if, let's say, he was on par with a Gypsy Crusader or any of the other controversial streamers and content creators that they've had, I would at least think that he would get a little bump in a pass, because this is a non-corporate event, one, and two, this is his good buddy Aiden Ross. Brand Risk is literally the event for people who are risky to the brand. And if Sneako can't make the cut because he's still too much of a brand risk, then I don't know. What you can understand that you'll look at Sneako's most recent controversies and you'll see that they're not just some random drama. Even those events start looking like reasons as to why his own side would turn against him. Just 7 days ago from the time of recording this video, I uploaded a video speaking to Sneako and the controversies that he had finally catching up to him. In about a week's time, Sneako had been banned from the continent of Australia. He had been banned from the UFC, and he had been banned from Twitch, at least.
I just be wondering, like, I know Sneako's tossing and turning, bro. And mind you, I don't know Sneako. I don't give a fuck about what he's got going on, honestly. But it's just like, was it worth it, bro? Was it worth it to stand behind? It's one thing when you are standing behind things that you're truly passionate about. Like, I feel like Sneako tries to be on some Malcolm X shit. You know, it's like he's passionate about all these different topics. He somewhat educates himself so he can use big words in debates and whatnot. But the thing is, the reality is, I don't think he really cares about this stuff. I really don't think Sneako cares about the things that he promotes. And, you know, right or wrong, I can always respect somebody that's at least like, okay, you're a moron and an idiot, and that's the hill you want to die on, but at least that's the hill you want to die on. You are passionate about this. That is your truth. You know what I'm saying? Whether I agree with you or disagree with you, that's a completely different conversation. But we know what we get with certain individuals. I don't feel that with Sneako. I feel like when you see somebody kind of just shed their skin so often, you start to kind of wonder, like, what do you actually believe in? What do you actually stand for? And again, I don't know him personally, so all I have to judge is what I see on the internet. It's one thing when you know somebody personally, you've been around them for years and like can really get to know them day to day. But just judging from the outside looking in, this is parasocial what we're doing right here, 100%. We don't gotta cap nobody down. It just feels like nothing about him is authentic, and that's just the sad part. You're standing up for a bunch of stuff that you don't even believe in, and boom, like now it's backfired. And the reality is, I'm sure you just want to create content, bro. Like you just want to talk about whatever topics you want to talk about in a way that doesn't offend anybody, doesn't disrespect anybody. Because look, bro, I have opinions. I get on the internet and sometimes I say some crazy shit. I mean, but it's like you could tell where my heart's at though. And you know, and even when I say something crazy, 9 times out of 10 I'll follow it up, but with hey though, like I don't really know what I'm talking about. These are just my thoughts off the top of my brain, so take it with a grain of salt, bro. I honestly am not that, passionate or informed about X, Y, and Z topic. And then sometimes I'll get on here and tell y'all what I am passionate about and, speak 100% from the heart. But it's like, when you just get on here and be disrespecting people, cause hate and just like try to like, I guess, defame a certain group of people, and it just starts to get nasty where it's just like, bro, whoa, like you just went so hard. You just drilled this whole group of people a new one for whatever reason. And the reality is you don't even care about it. You just did it just so you can get a little bit more likes and views. And mind you, bro, I'm a content creator. Everybody that uploads content, don't let them fool you into thinking like, to a degree, shit isn't for like and views. Niggas title their videos a certain way. They thumbnail their videos a certain way. Everybody knows what they're doing here. If you're a content creator, let's keep it real. To a degree, everything you're doing kind of has something to do about likes and views. But when it gets to the point where you are literally like spreading misinformation and being hateful and disgusting and like tearing people down, like for real, you got to ask yourself, it's like, is that what you want to be remembered for? Is that what you want to represent? And I look at Sneako and I don't see it. I don't think that's what he wants. But he's so far. He's just lost in it. And then you see sparks of redemption when he's like, fuck this. I'm done with the bullshit. I'm going to just do what I want to do. You see it. But it's like he can't get away from the grifting. And it's crazy. It's genuinely crazy and sad to see, man, because a lot of people fucked with his content, for when he was himself. There was a time where he was just him, doing him. But he just, he ate the red pill, for lack of better terms, right? And just went too far down. He's lost in that shit.
His last reattempt at being reinstated had been denied. And at the end of the video, I had mentioned some things about how, Sneako is trying to escape this past and he's doing these things to quote unquote right his wrongs, maybe distance himself from all these communities, etc., etc. But every time a door is open for him to say something stupid, step out there off the ledge, be controversial, make fun of somebody, whatever it may be, simply just being on the wrong side of history,
he does it.
Sneako is going to take it. And every time he takes it, all of this stuff about him changing is thrown out the window. These brands that would want to believe that Sneako has changed see this instant moment where he says, I don't know, Tread the Builder's right, these black people are wrong and they're chimping out all this other.
He said this? Jesus Christ, Sneako.
Stuff like that in his telling as to why he still supports what Chud the Builder is doing from the free speech perspective. All that shows brands is that, this old him is still who he really is. But the problem is much bigger than these entities not platforming Sneako. You don't have a right to be on Twitch. Twitch is like a privilege type thing. And it's even a luxury considering there are so many other options when it comes to the streaming game. But Sneako could even acknowledge that some of these bans and some of these punishments and the way that he's being viewed in public are starting to feel like he's a criminal. It's starting to feel bigger than just something that's happening on the internet.
People like me, I've never been convicted of a crime. I've never hurt anybody, but yet I'm treated like a criminal, right? I have problems, allegedly, in my opinion, traveling or being able to return back to the country. So many of these restaurants I can't eat at, and these restaurants are run by people who are found in the Epstein files. Noah Tepperberg, CEO of Tao Group, allegedly, in my opinion, I'm banned from Tao Group all over the country. Can't eat at the restaurant, can't dine at clubs. I can't dine at restaurants, can't go to the club. So I'm treated like a criminal here. I'm the one banned off of most social media platforms. I've just rightfully been reinstated on YouTube.
It just sounds so fucking. It pisses me off because he just sits there and it's kind of like feel bad for me. But bro, you're the one that did this. And again, it'd be one thing if we can genuinely look at Sneako and say that he's still saying and standing on the same bullshit that got him here in the first place. But we done seen him flip-flop so many times. Oh, I'm not going to make content with OF models. He makes content with OF models. Oh, I believe the, toxic masculinity and Andrew Tate's the GOAT. And he beefs with Andrew Tate. And Andrew Tate, you know, makes a video making fun of him every other day. It's like, anti-Semitism, I'm not even sure what I can and can't say. But, you know, he's pretty much hating on Jewish people. And then like retracting it. Oh, that's not me. I don't know. And then you want to go with say Chud the Builder is innocent. It's like, bro, you literally latch onto the most disgusting takes every time. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen? Like, you know, to a degree, it's kind of like you are who you hang around, bro. Yeah, you're not a convicted felon, but you out here advocating for one. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, my common sense would probably start to make me think maybe there's something off with you too.
But still banned on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, all this, right? I am treated like a criminal in my own country without ever committing a crime. So what's really going on? Why are people in the Epstein files not convicted?
They're attacking me! Maybe, bro. Maybe. And look, I'll agree. Some of the stuff that was going on in the Epstein files are disgusting. Some of these people that, you know, probably are evil, disgusting people need to get it looked into. But again, bro, I tell y'all, I know I'm yapping a lot with this one, but it just, the topic bleeds into different conversations where it's like, if you are a content creator, do what you're passionate about. Don't do like what's just going to get views and what's going to get money, because this is what happens. When you sell out for just money and views and clout, and it's not genuine to you, you're going to end up in this hole, or a different type of hole. It doesn't necessarily have to be like this. And you're going to be looking around confused, like, why am I getting treated like this? Because if he was a true activist, if he was a true revolutionary that he, you know, claims to be, he wouldn't be sitting here complaining. He would understand that this is what it comes with. I think, you know, when we think about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, people that are, you know, real revolutionaries and is fighting for a certain thing, to a degree, you accept death. You accept the bullshit that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, bro, I'm fighting for this and I'm willing to die on this hill. I already know that the system's working against me. I already know the potential consequences of my actions. Come on, bring it on. You don't look at that and ask, why am I getting punished? You almost be like, I already know what it is. Do it. Just to prove me right against the world. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what true revolutionaries and activists be on, ready to die about that shit. So it's like, again, bro, but if you want to fucking be on these platforms, you got to listen to certain rules. It's just what it is. It's just what it is.
You see, in Sneako's mind, he's being treated like a criminal without a conviction. And you can kind of see why he would frame it that way. You know, travel issues, platform bans, and being rejected from just everyday places and spaces, stores, restaurants, etc.
It costs nothing to be kind, bro. It costs nothing to be kind. Again, I hate being treated unfairly too. Sure. But it costs nothing to be kind. Like, you don't gotta disrespect people. You don't have to literally shit on others to better yourself. And I think that's just the reality of it. When you build your career on that, it's hard to feel bad for you when you're being quote unquote mistreated, when you mistreat everyone around you,
etc. are serious consequences. Ones that honestly, I would probably say are more extreme than even like somebody who is a felon, because felons can eat at Applebee's, but it seems as though Sneako is having a hard time booking a reservation. But you see, this is where he keeps missing out on the larger point here. Now, granted, I do agree with him that those that have done super duper heinous crimes, like the people that appear on the Epstein files, shouldn't be out in in public. The stuff that they did is heinous and crazy. But what he has to understand is these people aren't making criminal judgment. They're making a risk judgment. They're not saying, was Sneako convicted of this? They're saying, is Sneako worth the backlash? Think about this. If you were a small business, whether you sold clothes, whether you were a restaurant, whether, you know, you made artwork for somebody, there would be certain celebrities that you would be proud, and I do mean proud, to plaster on your social media saying that, hey, this person shopped with me, hey, this person eats here, etc., etc. I can have them in my restaurant, carve out space for them, all these different things. But everybody, and I do mean everybody, has a list of celebrities, personalities, figures online that they would not allow to patronize their establishment. It doesn't matter how much money they bring to it. It doesn't matter how much light they would bring to it. I don't want that type of name attached to my stuff. And this is where the whole brand risk thing becomes important, because this is the kind of space where Sneako should be able to say, look, my reputation is exaggerated, right? There are people around me that are 10 times worse than me, and ultimately this is where I fit in. But instead, he keeps giving people a reason to believe that the reputation is current. Every new controversy becomes a piece of new evidence, and then every new clip makes the old version feel like the current version. Have you ever noticed that when Sneako gets into some sort of drama, or any of these controversial content creators get into any sort of drama, their old clips start to populate, they blend together. People can't tell what's old, what's new. I've even had people reference things to me about Sneako that he said, I know 8, 10, 24 months ago, but they think it was something that he said today. And that's why it's harder and harder for people to defend Sneako, because every time he says the consequences are unfair, another clip comes out that reminds people that these consequences should exist. Take a look at this as to what happened when Andrew Schultz reacted to Sneako and Academics' debate.
We pretend that like words don't have meaning, right? Like that they don't hold meaning outside of like the dictionary definition of what they are. And like I saw an interesting debate, or at least a clip of the debate, so I'm not giving full context, but it was between Ak and Sneako. And I think Sneako was taking the position of like, it's just a word and people should be able to say the word. And then Ak was like, all right, well, then say something about Allah.
Oh yeah, I saw that clip. That was such a terrible take by Sneako. But again, it's just like, bro, what are you advocating for, nigga?
Shout out to Ak. He cooked him on that.
And it was like, it was a great point, because what...
I mean, of course, right? Like, of course. I mean, they didn't see it. I didn't even say that. So Ak's like, he's like, oh, words don't have meaning, so say this. It's like, that's not my position. I'm like, you can give these words more weight than they have. The more emotional attachment you allow people to have over you, the more hurtful that word becomes compared to other slurs, or even that word itself, when in hip hop, it's used as the most commonly used word in the entire genre.
And it was like, it was a great point, because what he was presenting is like, hey, that word means more to you. It's not just a sound. It has a meaning, and you will not use it in a negative way, which I think most people understand. They're
it's
like,
the perfect example of a word that's been repurposed to be used in a positive way. Thinking that you should respond with violence, hearing that individual word, just that word itself, it's giving power away, and it's allowing people to be able to control you emotionally.
Schultz gives a basic explanation that, hey, words have meaning because people agree they have meaning. Shocker, news at 10, right? So if a community sees a word as degrading, they have the right to reject it. That doesn't mean that every action is justified, but it does mean Sneako cannot pretend that every word is meaningless because he wants people to stop reacting to it. And instead of 10, 20, 30,000 people telling him that he's wrong in this situation, Sneako still stands on the same exact point. So instead of this clip making him look misunderstood, it makes him look like he still doesn't understand why people are mad at him. And see, that's the problem. Sneako is claiming that people are unfairly judging him, but then he runs around and he does something to make him be judged again. What's that one Kanye West line? I feel the pressure under more scrutiny, but what I do, act more stupidly. He says he's being treated like a criminal, but the issue isn't criminality. The issue is liability. And every time he doubles down on the same extreme, stubborn, against the grain, make it hard to see my side. You know, you have people here gritting and baring their teeth saying like, gang, I don't know. It's not good to have you.
I just don't want to deal with that shit. Like, bro, I just don't want to deal with it. Stop talking about this bullshit.
You're around right now, and he's just gonna continue on. Every time he gets a chance to prove that he's not the same guy, he proves that he's the same guy. Brand risk, though, has to be the most damning. Look, Australia bans you, you blame them. Twitch bans you, you say that they're being too PC, they're being too woke, you blame the system. The mainstream UFC bans you, you say, hey, this is cancel culture, they're being too pussified, it's weak. Brand risk. I don't know who they would not have on their platform outside of allegedly Chud the Builder, because Aiden Ross said he would not have him on there.
Aiden, bail out Chud the Builder and have him fight
Fuck
someone.
no. I'm not bailing him
him out. That was not real. I would never bail him out. Fuck no. Absolutely not, bro.
No, absolutely terrible guy.
That's the extreme that they would go to. But they would have just about anybody on their platform, and they won't even let you on there. Mind you, you're supposedly supposed to be a friend. They're not banning Sneako because they're afraid of the controversy. They're banning Sneako because of the liability that he can bring to the platform. I'm not saying that Sneako has to change his points just to get in with the in crowd. He should probably have some sort of level of
Probably just shut the fuck up. It's like, bro, just go back to, I don't know, reacting and talking about things that are just more generalized to like normal shit. Again, bro, do what you want. You know, my mom told me one thing, and you know, I stay true to this. And some of y'all might not like that, but that's fine. This is my career, not yours. My mom told me, listen, you're going to be a content creator. Does you want this to be, you know what I'm saying, your career? And what is your goal here? To be entertaining? You know, to inspire people? Okay. Stay away from politics and religion. You know what I'm saying? I stay away from politics and religion. Not because I don't care about politics and not because I don't care about religion. It's just because I understand how sensitive those topics can be sometimes, and you know how passionate sometimes those topics be. And my goal is not to step on anybody's toes. I love everybody. I appreciate everybody. I lead with love. It's just like, that's not my goal. My goal is to entertain and inspire, and you know, continue to be a force of some, like, kind of like a big brother role. You know, so it's like, that's my end goal with this content journey. So I don't touch on that shit. And if I do touch on it, it's because something crazy is going on, and it's like, hey, here's my 2 cents. But it's 9 times out of 10, I'm not looking to tear nobody down. So that's just a big thing where it's like, I feel like, Sneako, if this ain't your world, if this is not who you want to, if that's not what you want your legacy to be, like, what is your why? And I think that's something that we can all ask ourselves when we're doing anything. What is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Genuinely, because I think if you can answer that, it's really going to show you how to navigate. It's not about being pussy. It's not about not speaking up and you know, like the whole freedom of speech thing. Like, sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Like, sometimes you just need to stay in your lane. Shut the fuck up. Stay in your lane, where we don't care about your opinion on XYZ topic. You know what I'm saying? As if that's not even your mission statement. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Am I tripping? Am I thinking in a way that's, you know, counterproductive? You know, I'm definitely curious to hear y'all feedback. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. My name's Berto. Where you at, Berto? Join the Where You At family so you never miss a live stream reaction. Link to that is in the description.
Where you at, Berto? I made this shit look too easy.